You're going to take IELTS, and like everyone who takes this test, you'll need to prepare for it. So I'm going to show you the very best way of doing that with the official British Council preparation programme, Road to IELTS. So here we are on the front screen. Road to IELTS is very practical. You have reading, listening, speaking and writing modules, and each one has 4 sections: getting started, advice and tutorials, practice zone and test practice. So let's take a look. Let's click into reading, starting out. This section tells you everything you need to know. The number of questions, the time, the question types. You can either look at a video or let's click into the ebook here. And here are the details: 40 questions, 60 minutes, and the kind of questions that you're going to have to answer. Some unusual ones that you won't see in a school English exam: yes, no, not given, matching headings to paragraph, and so on. And you'll practice these later in the programme. Okay, so you know what to expect in the test. What you need next is advice on how to prepare. So we're going to click into the advice and tutorials. And here you're going to see advice from British Council IELTS experts. So let's click into this and just get a flavour of it.
For these 11 to 14 minutes, you really should try to show off and showcase your English as much as you can. Certainly give an answer, and if in a complete sentence, and if you can, give a reason why, if that is appropriate.
Okay, so you might be thinking, that advice, that's great. It's not just that. You've got advice on what do I talk about, coping with nerves, and all the other common questions that test takers have. That's all great, but it seems a little bit passive. So let's move on now to the practice zone. So I'm going to click in here to the practice zone for reading, and you can see I've got 12 sets of activities, and each set of activities is focused on task types. I'm going to click into the first one, which is short answer questions. So I've got the text here on the left, I've got the questions on the right, I've got test tips to explain to me how to answer short answer questions in general, and also specific advice for looking for information in the text on the screen. So let me answer a couple of questions. I can get marking at any time. I click on the marking button here and I can see the answers, or I can try again. So let's see the answers. And of course I can compare those answers with the information in the text. There are over 300 activities in the practice zone. So, you just have to keep practicing until you feel confident. And when you are confident, it's time for a practice test. Let's look at listening this time. Okay, now either you can do the CD IELTS version, or what we're looking at here is the paper-based version. So the first thing I'm going to do is download my test practice. I can scroll down and see the questions. It's exactly the same as a standard IELTS test paper. And at the bottom, you've got the official answer paper. So this really is realistic test practice. Print that out and I'm ready to start. Now, when I start this, you'll see that there's no stop button, no pause button. Just like in the real test, I go through to the end.
Test 1. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions.
Okay, so I answer the questions. When I've finished, I can download the answer key and I can mark my answer paper. So let's suppose that I've marked the paper, I've got 22 out of 40 correct. But what does that actually mean? I know I need an IELTS 6, but is 22 enough? So I'm going to go into the resource bank and look at the score calculator. I got 22 in listening, I got 18 in reading, and I'm taking academic. So that tells me I'm getting a 5.5 in listening, but I'm only getting a 5 in reading. I need a 6, so I know where I should be spending my practice time. I'd better get back to the practice zone and get to work. And this is how Road to IELTS will help you get the band score you need.